NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Colts and the Browns coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Here's the punter, Rigoberto Sanchez, on to get us started. And off we go from Cleveland. Takes it at the 7. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here come the Browns on offense with Baker Mayfield, the former #1 overall pick at quarterback.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. So the Colts in great position here as they get things started. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he's not going anywhere to start tonight. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Now Wentz. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. Kevin Stefanski consulted with his guys above, and they've told him throw that challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Here we go. Here we go.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Throwing on first is Wentz. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I could dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Blankenship's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 16. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Mayfield. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play fake, Mayfield. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big connection on that one. 37 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Second and 7.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Throwing, Mayfield. And it's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones there to make the grab. And the Browns have taken the lead. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 29, Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, Wentz. Flushed out right. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Don't walk out here, man.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Mayfield now. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away.
Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines.
And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing is Wentz. Incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Wentz. And the catch made by Hilton. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession, as they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard. Wentz. Oh, good move by T.Y. Hilton, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Wentz. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. From the gun, it's Taylor. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Wentz. He's got Jack Doyle. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a give to Taylor. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's 2nd and 9. They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
Well, he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now after the sack, Wentz and the Colts, they're left looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll get this one to Pittman.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession.
It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 1st down, Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper.
7 yards to pick up there.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
A give. This is Chubb. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
A run for Nick Chubb. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Mayfield off the play fake. There's the stiff arm. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Bryant has it. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Mayfield to throw it. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Handoff comes to Chubb, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, a 6-yard touchdown run, and the Browns add 6 to their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic, and it sounds almost trite. But the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Running left, Taylor. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he goes out right around the 39.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Wentz now on 1st down.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now left side on the swing pass. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot. Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Going for it all. Got a man, it's Pittman, and he holds it in for the Colts touchdown. Michael Pittman there to make the grab. And the Colts able to get this back within a touchdown.
As they began this last drive, things weren't exactly looking up for this offense. But after what they just did, putting the ball in the end zone, that took them away from the brink of possibly being knocked out of this game.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Quiddy Pay. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course,
or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. 54 yards on the ground for him so far. Well executed there on 2nd down. So do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility. But now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did, and that should set them up well for the second half to come.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. But the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. And what's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Complete to Hilton. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Wentz now to throw. Pass incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Wentz. Incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete as well. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 16. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go, big series right here. We got to step it up. 58 to the money.
To throw, Mayfield. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Cool under pressure right there. Escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Mayfield now from the 50. Going deep here for Landry. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Browns. Jarvis Landry, 50 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And that time he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route. Often against the safety, you like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. touchdown. Here's McLaughlin to kick off. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Wentz. That's complete to the running back, Nyheim Hines. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They need to make up some ground, and they did.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Looking deep for Hilton. And he's caught on his sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case,
Mayfield's throw into the hands of Hooper. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On the ground, it's Chubb. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
They run. Chubb. And some strong running. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Chubb will get the call, running left. He can't get him down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
We used to work relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Chubb. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. That's going to be caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run. Here's Janovich, the fullback. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now Mayfield. Forced, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Baker Mayfield, a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Browns add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. the touchdown. Here's McLaughlin to kick off. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Indy set to go on offense once more. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On first down, Wentz. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jadeveon Clowney. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
After the sack on first down, Wentz. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Myles Garrett, his second sack of the night. Going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter.
Now after the sack, Wentz and the Colts, they're left looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Cleveland offense making their way out. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 44. They begin this drive with Chubb. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
101 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better really as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
They carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 24. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with third down and just a yard to go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Browns on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
McLaughlin now for the Browns field goal. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. And here's Rodgers to return. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Wentz now on first down.
They'll check this one down to Taylor.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
You can see the thought process there. With his speed, they were hoping he could pop one. Instead, the coverage was good, and they forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing is Wentz. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And for the moment, this will be a first down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands. That's on the tackle, Braden Smith. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now Wentz. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Wentz, got to have this one. Over the middle, hauled in by Campbell. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb.
126 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Good gain there on first down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, but coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Let's go, D.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Browns on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Mayfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And he is going to have a Browns first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
They'll give it to Chubb. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.